So you've got a great idea for a big event to put into your story. The only problem is you don't know where to put it. So instead, what if we found a way to build out from that incredible event to create your story around it? Well, in this lesson, we're covering a few main types of events and how you can transform them into a story using the 3 core elements. To start, when we say event, this could mean a gathering, like a ballroom dance competition, or it could mean an incident, like an asteroid crashing to Earth. Each one is different and will connect to a different part of your story. But we'll go through each one to see how they connect back to the 3 core elements. Let's start with an event as a gathering. Some examples might include a wedding, a comic convention, or a birthday party. But one question you should ask before going any further is this: is my event a small part of my story, or is it where most or all of the story is set? If it's the second option, then you're probably thinking of a location, which we're going to cover in a separate video. However, if your event is only a small part of your story, then we can use a simple technique to figure out where it should go. Most of the time, an event will happen at either the midpoint or the story climax. Examples of this include the ski trip at the midpoint of To All the Boys I Loved Before, or the weddings at the story climax of Shrek, Bridesmaids, and Wedding Crashers. And because of this, we can ask a key question that will lead us to the goal. The question is, what happens at the event? If it's a profession of love, like in Shrek or Wedding Crashers, that will probably be the story climax. And if it's a steamy hot tub session, like in To All the Boys, then it's probably the midpoint. We can easily figure this out because of how that event relates to a potential goal. In both of these examples, the goal is clearly going to be romance-focused, likely trying to woo a potential suitor. Think about if whatever happens would be the completion of a goal or a big step toward a goal. And this will inform you not only of the goal, but also if the event should happen at the story climax or the midpoint, respectively. And as a side note, can you guess why the midpoint and story climax are the 2 most likely to showcase a gathering? Because the phases that come right before them, namely the uphill climb and the final plan, are both known for preparations, like in Ready Player One or in Always Be My Maybe. But let's imagine that instead your event is more of an incident. This could be a house burning down, someone winning the lottery, or an alien showing up on your protag's front door. Similar to what we did with the last examples, let's look at what steps are most likely to showcase an incident. First, and most obvious, since the catalyst is often labeled as the inciting incident, we know it's definitely one of them. The moment of danger can sometimes showcase an attack, and so can the moment of peril. So usually, if it's some kind of unexpected event, it will happen at either the catalyst, the moment of danger, or the moment of peril. There are 2 ways to link these back to the 3 core elements. First, if it could be the catalyst, then think of what kind of obligatory scene this event would imply. Die Hard's arrival of Hans Gruber is a great example, as it implies a scene where protag John McClane will defeat Hans Gruber. Most times, if this event is positive, it will probably be the catalyst. You can also think of what kind of opportunity this event may present the protag. And from either of these, you can easily reach the goal, since the opportunity and obligatory scene are tightly connected with the goal. If the event is generally negative, it will likely be the moment of danger or moment of peril. The difference really comes down to severity, since the moment of peril is much worse. But in either of these cases, you can easily connect to the 3 core elements by going through the antag. An awful event will usually imply either an antagonist who causes the event or some kind of antagonistic force that is the event. So if you ask what kind of badness is at the heart of this event, you'll find your antag. That should give you a good idea of how to relate an event to the 3 core elements so you can build out your story from there. But if you're looking for examples beyond premises, characters, and events, the extended version of this mini course includes starting from a plot twist, a moral, a location, and even a title. Otherwise, we'll spend the next lesson covering how to use the 3 core elements to turn your rough first draft into a polished, publishing-ready piece.